Zombie Apocalypse.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is 6 Scale Economist. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike Deluxe set by Hot Toys. Cool. So as always, we're going to talk about this figure first from a collection perspective, and then we're going to talk about it from an investment perspective. So taking a look at this figure, I mean, this set is great. You're getting the speeder bike from the show, and the Scout Trooper, pretty weathered, like has like the sand on him. Like, it's supposed to be, the idea is that like the better days of these troopers are behind them, given the fall of the Empire, and so they're kind of like on their heels a little bit. And that's totally, portrayed through how Hot Toys, designed this figure. This pose is sick. I hope this pose is like not underrated, but this pose is like awesome. Like, I don't even know if I would display him like on the speeder bike. Like, I really liked that pose that they did. I think it adds like a lot of character to the display, and like if you watch the show, then like these stormtroopers, that's like kind of like their mantra is like they're kind of like they're great. I actually don't know who the actors are. They're very familiar. It almost sounds like someone from SNL, but they're very funny. And so like this pose right here like very accurately displays how those Scout Troopers acted, and it's just, they're just like kind of like, it was great to see that. That's actually that is my single favorite scene in the entire show, was the dialogue between those two Scout Troopers. That like 5-minute scene. It was the first time that you really saw character given to stormtroopers or like Scout Troopers, in any movie. Like, think about like Scout Troopers like Return of the Jedi, like they just like don't really say much, and like there's not really much character to them. But these ones, like, you actually really felt like they're like real people under that armor who like signed up to like join the Empire, and they're just like dudes that like have a family but like have to like go to their day job, which is like killing people, and like trying to like keep order and like a tyranny. So it was really funny and just like great, and like the display stand that you get with this bike too is just awesome. Yeah, so like, and obviously you get, Baby Yoda with the different head sculpt, like the smiling head sculpt, which I know people are like gonna lose it over, and you get like the backpack, which is like great. They really, I haven't looked at this figure in like 2 weeks now. Maybe like a month. This set is awesome. This pose is hilarious too, like Baby Yoda like laughing or whatever, all about it. Like cool poses. You get the little gun that Scout Troopers have. They show 2 here, like trying to hint you to like buy 2, but like, damn, that's gonna be expensive if you want to buy 2 of those. I don't know if you need 2 of those, but like some people might need 3 of those. Obviously you get this pose. You see IG unit on the bike. So the head sculpt for this Baby Yoda, it's cute, whatever. I actually don't like this like head sculpt as much as the one that comes with the Mandalorian Deluxe. I don't think you need like that many Baby Yodas, and like if you are already getting the Deluxe Mandalorian set, which by the way, if you're not, you should. I think that Baby Yoda is just fine. I don't really know if I would need a second Baby Yoda on another display shelf in my detail. I'm just weird like that though. Everybody's different. But like, I think it's awesome that they're including this Baby Yoda in the set. They didn't have to do that, but they did. But like, it's not like too drawing for me. Maybe some people will want it just because they want like Baby Yoda with this expression. So you could always just like buy the set, and like if you already have Baby Yoda in the other, and in your Deluxe Mandalorian set, and you want to just sell this Baby Yoda, I'm sure he's going to sell for way more than he should. I'm sure he'll sell for like $50 or something crazy, easily. Yeah. No, this set is great though. I mean, look at the detail on it. Come on, like putting even like these little like widgets everywhere and all that stuff like that. Like, Hot Toys always just nails it. Hot Toys is great. It's so refreshing to collect a Star Wars line from a company like Hot Toys rather than a company like Hasbro. Like, I came from collecting vintage collection 3 3/4 inch figures, and it's just a nightmare trying to collect figures from Hasbro because they've just like, they're just so bad in so many things. They're good at some stuff, but they're so bad at so many things. So it's so nice to just see a company that just like pays attention to detail and like listens to what the fans want and like always delivers. Like, it's great. Yeah, so just like looking at the details, like the bike looks awesome, like the carbon scoring and all that stuff on it looks great. Like, you know, these flaps that come up and you can see kind of like the engine and stuff. Like you even get like a dynamic display base for the Scout Trooper, and you get a display base for the figure. Like that's great. You get the hands and the gun, which is a standard these days. They threw in the Baby Yoda with the backpack. This has a lot going for it, but what is awesome is that it's $455. When I saw the initial photos, you know, for this set, I was like, oh, that set's really cool, but like this is going to be like a $550 set, like a $535 set, because like you're getting the speeder bike. Remember, Sideshow sells their own speeder bike. I think it was like $300 or something, and that thing has sat in stock for like as long as like Sideshow has been a company. Like that thing is like, I don't know what I don't know why they haven't like discounted that thing substantially yet, but like that thing is not moving. And so the fact that Hot Toys just brings you a Scout Trooper, which is a full hot toy on its own. You get the Baby Yoda with the backpack and all that stuff. You get like sweet display bases, and you get the speeder bike, which I think looks better than the Sideshow speeder bike and the details and everything. And they're only going to charge you $455. I mean, it's a great price. And I think that just segues right into like looking at this from like an investment perspective. Don't let although it is it is a great price relatively, don't let the objective price like scare you. This set may seem like it's very expensive, but the value that you're getting for this set is great. I actually don't remember off the top of my head what the price. You can buy just the Scout Trooper like alone, but like I imagine it's probably like $235, like $225 or something. I don't know off the top of my head. But basically, like if you look at like the Scout Trooper and Baby Yoda, if that came out as a set together, just those two figures, that would be probably $255, or $245 maybe. So you're essentially paying like $200 for a better speeder bike than you can get from Sideshow. That is $100 or so cheaper than Sideshow is selling their speeder bike for. The detailing is better. You get like a sweet display base for the speeder bike. Like this figure is just great from a value perspective, and it's probably one that it's going to do very well. It's one that's probably going to do pretty well in the secondary market. It's still, I think, too early to tell to make that much of an estimate on how overall the Mandalorian figures are going to do, because we haven't seen any release of them. And like the best way to always track like how things are going to perform without just like totally speculating is historical analysis. It's the same thing that you do when you're trading bonds in the investment grade market, or trading stocks in the stock market. Is it's very important to like look at historical returns. And so like I think that for this figure, you're good to just sit on it. You have a while. This figure is not coming out until April 2021 to June 2021. So, if you're on the fence on like this figure, just hang out and just chill out. You have so much time. There's other Mandalorian figures that are coming out and are still, on pre-order right now. Allocate your money there for which figures you want to pick, and just keep holding out. And by the time this figure is set to come out, we're going to have so many Mandalorian figures that have already come out by then that we're going to have enough historical data to make a better estimate on how we think this figure is going to do in the secondary market. So like my investment perspective for this figure is to just hang out. If it's a total buy for you, and like I'm sure a lot of people have already pre-ordered it, just pre-order it. I know I have already pre-ordered one myself. But if you're on the fence, just keep hanging out. You got time. There's other places that you can put your money to work right now, and like let that tough decision become a tough decision when it comes, if it is a tough decision for you. There's no reason to rush it right now. The pre-order will most certainly be up for at least another 5 months, 6 months, probably more. And so let's just hang out and just take a look and see how the other Mandalorian figures are doing. There's no reason to jump the gun and put your pre-order down now, and then we see that like the Mandalorian figures are like super overproduced, and like all the ones that came out before that are like all sitting and they're not doing well in the secondary market, and then now you're stuck with a non-refundable deposit on a figure that you're not so hot on anymore. But one thing that I do want to point out, one of the other downsides for this figure, and it is a significant downside, is I don't have a speeder bike currently, but I'm very, very confident that speeder bike does not fit in a display cabinet. Feel free to shoot a comment, down below if you do have the Sideshow speeder bike and you can confirm it does not fit in a standard IKEA D12 that I would imagine most people display their Hot Toys in. But that's what I display my Hot Toys in, and I'm just looking at my D12 right now. I'm pretty sure that is not going to fit in the D12, and so that's like a pretty significant con for this figure. I pre-ordered it, but like I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to display it, because I don't really like to display my figures like at the top of my detail flow or whatever, like out in the elements, because like, I'm just like, I think it looks better in the detail off, and like once it's, out in the elements, like in your room, like there's a lot of like potential things that like could happen. Like what if, like if you're cooking, or anything like that, or like, pets, and this may sound like trivial, but it's really not, because it really does impact the value of your hot toys. And when you want to go to resell them, you have to be a good seller, and you should always tell the person you're selling it to any issues at all that might be wrong with the figure. And that includes like if the figure like has like a weird smell or something like that. And so like, not keeping your figures in a detail if you're exposed to that risk. And there's no reason to take on that risk, because, it's an unnecessary risk that is like easily avoidable. With this figure, because that is not going to fit in a detail, it's going to be tricky on how that's going to be displayed, and that is a very real downside for this figure and how it might perform in the secondary market. Is a lot of people are probably going to be hesitant to pick up this figure because they may not be able to display it in their detail. Yeah, so with that being said, that's basically going to wrap it up. It's such a bargain at that price. It's probably not going to ever go below retail because of just how just everything that it comes with, and Hot Toys just like totally nailing everything. Like, I've talked about 2-pack sets in the past. Like, we haven't seen 2-pack sets like do that great because of what the overall like absolute price of the figure, because it's so high, it has a hard time performing on a relative basis, on a percentage basis, your gains on the figure. And so it might be one that's going to perform really well. It's just too early to tell, and we'll be better be able to get an idea of it once we get some more Mandalorian figures out. And then just the downside of not being able to display that speeder bike is a real hindrance, is something that shouldn't be overlooked in determining if this is a good investment or not. That's going to do it. That's going to wrap up for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. This is 6 Scale Economist. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.